this video, we're going to find the whole given a percent and an amount. Find the indicated wholes. We're going to round our final answer to 2 decimal places as needed. We can use a calculator for our computations, but we're going to write down the expression that we put in the calculator. Okay, so let's look at the first one. I'm going to highlight what we're given in yellow and our goal in green. So 45, we're given that, is 35% of, our goal is to find what number. Okay. So I want you to notice we're told that we're finding the indicated whole, so you probably know what process to use, okay, when we're finding a whole. But how would we know that if we weren't told this? Okay, so frequently students will see this problem and they'll say, I'm going to find 35% of 45. So they say, they interpret this as, what is 35% of 45? Okay. But notice how this structure is different. Here we're given 45 and 35%, but 45 is followed by the word of, so here 45 is the whole. In this case, it says of what number. What number is the whole, and that's what we're trying to find. Okay, so again, it's easy to determine the percent because it's labeled with a percent. The hard part is interpreting the language to see which one is the amount and which one is the whole. And again, the word of is the best thing to look for. So I just want to do a quick compare and contrast. If you are finding what is 35% of 45, we learn that you take 45 and you multiply by 35 over 100. You're finding 35 out of every 100 pieces of 45. Let's see what this one looks like. We said, well, if we're trying to find the whole, and this is the amount, you take the amount, you multiply by the percent you want, so you want 100%, you divide by the percent you have, which is 35. So the idea was, if 45 is 35%, dividing 45 by 35 gives us 1%. Multiply by 100, take 100 copies of 1%, gives us 100%. Okay, but notice structurally how they're different. 100 over 35 is the reciprocal of 35 hundredths. Okay, so very similar process, okay, but you really have to look for these key indicators of the words. Now let's put this into the calculator to compute it. So we have 45 times 100 divided by 35. We'll round that to 2 decimal places, so 128.57. Approximately 120, sorry I forgot, 8.57. Okay, and again, whenever I round and I'm writing something out, I use the squiggly lines to show that it's an approximation and that I rounded my result. So let's look at the next one. 4.32% of what number is 7.5? So I highlighted what we were given. What number is what we're trying to find, and notice that even though these numbers are, or this is phrased in a different way, what number is in the middle, okay, we can still tell we're given the percent, what number is followed by of, so we're trying to find the whole, and 7.5 is the amount. So let's set this up. So we want to take 7.5, multiply by the percent we want, 100%, divide by the percent we have. Okay, let's do this on the calculator. So I'm going to multiply the numerators, 7.5 times 100, and divide by the denominator of 4.32. And this is 173.61 rounded to 2 decimal places. So 173.61. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so 11/7 is 22% of what number? So again, what number is our goal, which is the whole? This is the amount. 11/7 multiplied by the percent I want, which is 100%, which is the whole, divide by the percent I have. Okay, so here we're multiplying two fractions. We can still do this on the calculator, but I want to make sure you remember something. Okay. When you put this in your calculator, if you're going to put it in exactly like this, you could multiply these first. I'll do this in my head real quick. 1100, 140 and 14 is 154. So you could multiply these first and then do this division. But if you're going to start right from this expression, because here we multiplied the tops and then just divided by the number, but here there are two numbers in the denominator. So you can do this in one step, but you need to use parentheses. And just to be consistent, you don't really need parentheses for the top numbers, but I'm going to put them in there anyway. So I'm going to multiply 11 times 100 in parentheses. Remember, parentheses tells the calculator do this first. Then divided by, the parentheses in the denominator are absolutely required. We want 7 times 22, close parentheses. So imagine if these parentheses weren't here, the calculator would multiply 11 and 100, then divide by 7, and it would multiply that result by 22, and it would be as if the 22 was in the numerator, not the denominator. The parentheses make it multiply 7 and 22 and then use that entire quantity as the denominator. Okay, so your options are remember to use parentheses, or you could just multiply these out first and do this piece right here. Now we'll hit equals, and rounded to 2 decimal places is 7.14. So approximately 7.14. And now we have a last one. 134.7% of what number is 2300? Okay, so of what number means we're looking for the whole. And notice in this case, we have that our percentage is larger than 100%. So 2300 is going to be larger than our whole. Our whole is going to be smaller because this is a larger percent. So let's just follow the same process. We take 2300, we multiply by the percent we want, which is 100%, divide by the percent we have. So notice this is a proper fraction, so it's a smaller amount of 2300, and that makes sense. Now let's multiply 2300 times 100 divided by 134.7, rounded to 2 decimal places. Well, here the thousands place is 8, so I round up. When I add 1 to 9, I get 10, so this is going to round up to 0.50. So 1707.50. 1707.50. And notice we could actually just write this as 0.5, but it's nice when you're rounding to 2 decimal places to put the 0 there, because that says we rounded to 2 decimal places, and we can indicate it in that way.